And it's over. Liverpool have not won 3 trophies this year. Real Madrid are the champions of Europe. In some of the most unsurprising news possible, Real Madrid, yet again, 14 European Cups for that club now. Carlo Ancelotti, 4 trophies. Loz, my commiserations.
You can't say they didn't warn you.
I mean, they're an amazing club with a ridiculous track record. And when they lost earlier this season to Sheriff, the Moldovan champions, at the Bernabeu, I never thought that we would be watching them in a European Cup final, let alone beating Liverpool.
Do you think Sheriff watched this and go, have a bit of that?
Yeah, I mean,
Sheriff watched that and go, that is
amazing,
incredible. We are one of the only teams to have beaten them in the Champions League this season.
I can't believe what they've done. And when you think about Real Madrid's route to the final, it is an incredible victory. It's a dazzling victory for them and their fans. But it could have been different. I felt like Liverpool...
24 shots to 4. But again, you know the weird thing
is...
Yeah. You know the weird thing about that is, all of that's irrelevant. Obviously, they lost it, so all of that's irrelevant. But Liverpool got Real Madrided.
Yes.
And they also got Ancelotti'd. It's that you can see the culture that he brings with him is that sort of AC Milan-esque. We will hang on as long as we can here. We will be solid in defence. We've got some real leaders. We've got that perfect spine. And it reminds me, there are shades of the idea of that AC Milan team he had back in 2005, which shows how many eras he spanned.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Repeating your success in different eras, it really is a hallmark of greatness.
And in different leagues, the Premier League.
He's got 5 leagues, hasn't he? He's been a success in Europe's 5 biggest leagues. Yeah. Definitely a contender for the best manager ever.
I love him. I think he's a great character. I think he's, the great thing I love about him is he's a very respectful man. He always seems to have the respect of the other managers. He's always been very cool, very calm, and weirdly,
he's likeable, isn't he?
Yeah, but a lot of older men sometimes like to tell the younger guys, oi, have a bit of respect or whatever. This Real Madrid team were going
because he won it, didn't he? He won it as a player for AC. But where did it go wrong today, Loz? Where if we're going to pinpoint where Liverpool didn't win the cup, why didn't Liverpool win the European Cup?
Brian was 100% correct. I think it's finishing first of all, because you can't. Let's look at those 24 shots. How many of them were easy shots for Courtois to get at? Quite a lot of them, actually. A lot of them you see him get the ball there. That's not a good enough shot if he can get the ball there. Yeah. Quite a few of them are also, he can get the ball on the floor.
But he was also exceptional, Courtois,
there were 3 saves, I think,
the one where he pushed it up.
The one where he pushed it up.
Salah.
Yeah, well, that was there, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then the one that he tipped onto the post.
Correct. And then I think there was another one in there. I can't quite remember what the chance was, but I've got it in my mind. So it was basically 3 big chances. And if one of those goes in, it's 1-1, but it doesn't. I think it comes down to finishing. There's an issue at Liverpool with the structure of that front 3 come 4 right now. And I think we'll see how that is solved in the off-season. I don't think you can say that Mane, Salah, Firmino, Jota, Diaz, whilst that is so dangerous, feels like it has one striker in there. All of those guys could be around someone. Like look at what City did, all right? They scored those goals. They actually scored more goals than Liverpool have this season. And yet look at what they went out and got. They scored 99 goals, I think it was in the league this season, 94 for Liverpool. I think I'm roughly correct.
And they've gone and signed Erling Haaland.
They've gone and signed Erling Haaland. That solved a problem for them. Firmino, when he came on, I actually thought it was really good. I thought his deep play was good. Jota, I think Jota is lost his way a little bit at Liverpool, if I'm completely honest. I think there are elements of his game that he had at Wolves that he doesn't have at Liverpool. And I think we basically got Real Madrided.
Do you think, and you're not going to like this, mate, but I've got to ask. Trent Alexander-Arnold for the goal?
He didn't have a great game tonight in terms of... I think he got tired very late on, and I think he was caught. You don't want to say caught napping, but I feel like that.
I think that's an appropriate term here, Loz. I know that you have a undying love for Alexander-Arnold, and it's a European Cup final. And I don't want to drill in too hard on this, but you were right there. He was caught napping.
Okay, then and I get that. You know what? It's almost difficult to. I think he'll know that. I also think you could kind of see later on. All the stuff that Liverpool had got in their heads before the game was sort of beginning to slip away. Salah saying, I want the revenge, all those kind of things. He got his chance at the back post. He sort of shirked it a little bit, sort of just tried to tip it. He got that shot through on Courtois. You got to think he's thinking that's a goal. There's a couple of times where you could see Liverpool getting in their own heads. It's exactly what Real Madrid want. And Trent will be disappointed because... And Alisson, I think, will also be disappointed. I think Trent's probably the one to blame if you want to put any... But Alisson turns and you can see him looking and he's basically looking back across and he's almost going, You're meant to be there.
Yeah.
But and that almost means he doesn't do the dive across. Alisson's huge body going across
goal to concede
might mean.
for Liverpool, innit?
I mean, every goal's a bad goal to concede. But Vinicius in
preventable.
particular. Do you know the weird thing is? It was one of their few coherent moves where they go out from the back all the way to the front, and then it's just so bad when it's someone like Valverde or someone like that crossing it, because you just go, you're meant to be one of the squad players, And I get it, but respect to Real Madrid. I think as an institution, those guys, that institution, that rhetoric keeps them marching on.
That institution is amazing. Like in terms of their victories, it's unreal. Loz, where do you sit on the disallowed goal?
I read the rules. I think if you're going to go to
Was it correct?
Apparently so, because if Benzema's standing offside and it's not a deliberate action,
right?
Then that means, and it wasn't. You can clearly see it in the replay, which is why VAR took so long. I think they were looking for him looking at the ball and trying to knee it or something.
Do you know the weird thing about saying deliberate? It's never going to be deliberate because he's never going to pass the ball to an opposition player.
No, but the point would be that it has to be deliberate. Otherwise, there can be ideas that you might be able to play a ball off someone, or there are all different reasons why that you obviously can't do a throw-in because throwing you can't be offside. But if you could play the ball off someone, and if he's moving towards the ball, there's all sorts of different reasons why. So,
and what about in terms of looking forward now? So Liverpool,
I think
despite a brilliant era, they've won both domestic cups. So a decent season, but probably slightly underwhelming.
Bittersweet, silver lining to every cloud. Liverpool have gone and won the 2 cups, or one of the cups that Klopp still needed to complete it. So he's now won everything he can. That's great. But it's not the volume of cups that I think he would want.
No, or the prestige of cups. It's the two. And look, I rate the cup so highly, but obviously not the league and the European Cup.
They're the icing on a Champions League or a Premier League cake, right? I still think you look at that as Liverpool and you go, all right, we competed in everything this season. Not many of the games were they lucky, I think, in the Champions League. I think Champions League, they pretty much just sailed through all the way to the final. Inter, Benfica, Villarreal, all those games.
Didn't you win all 6 in the group as well?
All 6. So they were not unbeaten, but they went through everything they needed to, and unbeaten in the group. 18 points. One of the only English teams to do that, I think. If not,
No, you're the only ones I think.
So it's impressive. It will be bittersweet, but I think Liverpool will look at that and go, well, we've dominated so many games. We've been, we lost the league by 1 point. Why should we not continue and try and just basically keep this roll going? You've still got Van Dijk next season. You've still got Henderson. Yeah, they've done it before.
The last time you lost a European Cup final was against Real Madrid in Kiev, and wasn't it the following season that you went back and beat Tottenham in Madrid?
Yeah,
that was the next season directly, wasn't it? So.
Do you know what I think will happen though? I think there'll be an inquest because Liverpool have improved their fitness this season. They've managed to have less injuries, or when players have got injured, they've been out for less time. But those 2 big games, the 2 cup finals, where Chelsea might need unlocking. Thiago's not in one of them. Thiago goes off in the other one.
Yeah.
So they need to.
Do you know what the problem is,
though?
I've got the answer to this. You were too good at too many competitions. You paid a penalty for having to play 60
I can't
games
say
a
that
season.
because if I say that, then the tweets and the comments go, "Oh, the arrogance of Liverpool." Blah
That's
blah
true.
blah.
I don't think that's controversial. I think it's true. You've fought a war on 4 fronts. Naturally, you lose players.
Do you know the sad thing is? I think within the Liverpool community, this team will be so well remembered. They'll love them. I think they'll always hold them sort of up as one of the great teams. Probably a bit of a yardstick, right? But there are all those echoing Bill Shankly quotes about first is everything, and second is nothing. Now, Bill Shankly said a lot of stuff, so he can be quoted a lot. But ultimately, like you said, success, winners write the history books, all those kind of things. I think that's changed a little bit. But what Liverpool want, and this isn't within our community, we hold this team up. But they want that recognition. Liverpool as a city, and that's why people always get at them with the victims thing, with all this stuff. They want recognition as people. And one of those ways they can force other people to give recognition is, well, we win things. We are memorable. And that's what I will say about Liverpool this season. They've been, again, everyone wants to watch them, they're box office, and they're a side that you think, okay, we either want to beat you or we want to beat you.
And mate, next year, Istanbul.
You and I?
You see,
we gonna do that?
Mate, the history, you come back you did it in, you came back the second season after losing to them.
Paris,
Istanbul,
81.
the history of Istanbul.
Sure,
mate,
I love that.
Mate,
I love
you
that.
never know.
Steven Gerrard there.
Mate, chin up. You feeling all right?
I'm fine.
Grim, man.
Obviously I say I'm
horrible
fine.
losing
There's going to be all those comments, but it's horrible.
Horrible,
but if I didn't, put it this way.
Thank you for doing this video.
If I didn't feel like we weren't going to come back and try it again, I'd be gutted.
Yeah, and I'm sure that you will certainly, well, we know you'll be back.
Thank
you to everybody.
Maybe do a little bit of hope.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Thank you for watching this video. Real Madrid, congratulations, Champions Europe. Unlucky, my friend. Drop a subscribe.
Amazing.
See you in a bit. Haha.